In today's world, it seems that every moment of our day is being documented with digital photography. The faster we shoot, the more room there is for error, such as red eye, which is caused by the reflection of light against the blood vessels in the retina. Fortunately, this common photo flaw can be fixed with just the click of a mouse. But for one family, red eye wasn't the only problem. A recurring yellow glow in their son's left eye also plagued family photos.
There's only one in every 70 or 80 photos that we would see it, and it was usually in photographs that are with red eye. And so we'd sort of discounted it, and then last summer, my sister called to tell me, carefully, that she had seen somewhere on a TV show that can be a sign of a tumor in the eye. So we started to poke around a little bit on the computer and look up gold flash, or what we later learned is called a cat's eye reflection. That's when I started seeing on the internet this retinoblastoma, and it had the exact same flash in the children's eyes that we were seeing in Benjamin's photographs.
Retinoblastoma is a cancer in the eye that, if untreated, can metastasize outside the child's eye into the brain, central nervous system, or bones.
It's a core cancer, so it's likely to attack some other part of the body, so they frequently lose a limb. And it's a progressive thing, so you kind of deal with it your whole life, and it's a real challenge.
Without treatment, retinoblastoma can be fatal. Overwhelmed and panicked, Megan rushes Benjamin to Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
What do you do with a child who has potentially cancer in his eye? A lot of people from around the country, around the world, were flying to Children's to see, three doctors, Dr. Lynn Murphy, Dr. Tom Lee, and Dr. Mark Borchert, who were really, world-renowned specialists in treating the situation, also rehabilitation.
The Vision Center at Children's Hospital Los Angeles is the only program of its kind in the United States, with expertise in virtually every pediatric ophthalmologic subspecialty. The center sees about 1 of every 5 cases of retinoblastoma known worldwide.
It wasn't just an issue of potential blindness, but also death. So there was a lot riding on that diagnosis.
After Benjamin is given anesthesia, Dr. Lee is able to get a clear look at the child's eye. At first sight, he suspects it is one of 2 diseases, retinoblastoma or Coats disease, which is also dangerous but less fatal. A RetCam is used to get a microscopic visual of the blood vessels in Benjamin's eye.
The RetCam was in part designed at Children's Hospital Los Angeles over 20 years ago. That was the very first camera to specifically look inside a child's eye to make the diagnosis of retinoblastoma or Coats disease.
Then he scans the retina for a 3-dimensional view.
There's a second technology that we pioneered here, which is spectral domain optical coherence tomography. And that uses a very finely tuned laser that scans the retina in 3 dimensions and then allows us to look inside the retina to see whether or not there's any leakage from the blood vessels that we typically see with Coats disease. When we looked inside, we saw the detachment. We also saw the white mass. And although that can masquerade as retinoblastoma, we were actually very confident that it was in fact not retinoblastoma. And it was more consistent with a condition called Coats disease.
Within 30 minutes of Benjamin being examined, Dr. Lee has a diagnosis for the Webbers. Their son has Coats disease. Coats disease causes blood vessels to leak, detaching the retina and releasing lipids and fat, creating a yellowish deposit.
So rather than the light going in and bouncing off the blood vessels in the retina, it bounces off that deposit, which is yellow, and comes back as a yellow reflex.
Megan and Brian finally have an explanation for the yellow glow seen in photos of Benjamin. Although it is a serious condition, Coats disease means their son does not have a life-threatening disease.
Coats disease is a lifelong disease, and even though it could ultimately lead to the removal of his eye, I think we knew right then, we get to keep the rest of Benjamin.
Dr. Lee rushes back to the OR to start treatment. Although Benjamin's disease is not cancerous, doctors have to act fast. With every day that passes, more fluid will build up in his eye, causing severe pain.
Here we are, one step closer to a diagnosis and then one step closer to a cure.
The laser therapy Dr. Lee uses targets the blood vessels that are problematic.
The laser that we employ is very precise, and it has the ability to actually shut down individual blood vessels that may only be the size of a human strand of hair. By cauterizing all those little vessels and sealing them with the laser, we can shut down the leakage, and that gives the retina a chance to heal on its own and then go ahead and recover vision.
In less than 20 minutes, Dr. Lee finishes. He has successfully closed off all the leaking blood vessels possible.
So within about an hour of them starting, we were done. We had the diagnosis, we had the treatment, and Benjamin was well on his way to recovering vision.
It's a relief that they could actually take action quickly. And I think, I think we're fortunate that they have all of the equipment there.
Benjamin is able to go home the same day with a new lease on life. Now, after several treatments to control Coates' disease, the question becomes just how much of Benjamin's vision can be restored in his left eye, if any.
Because this eye's gone, and I heard my mom talking to the doctor. My left eye's the eye which is not working. My right eye's the eye which is working.
He now had the chance to relearn how to see with his left eye. In order to do that effectively, we had to make sure that Benjamin got the right glasses and started patching therapy.
Benjamin is referred to Dr. Mark Borchert.
Children have to learn to see in the first few years of life, and that depends on the brain getting a formed image. And so we were faced with deciding whether or not, even though the retina was healing nicely, whether or not his vision loss had been long enough or severe enough to prevent his brain from relearning how to see.
Benjamin's good eye is patched in order to retrain the diseased eye to work independently.
You might imagine that's really a tough thing to do in a 5 or 6-year-old boy. Now we're basically making him blind by putting a patch on his good eye and asking him to go about his daily life as usual.
But Benjamin and his parents are persistent, and the patching therapy pays off. Benjamin regains some vision in the left eye, which was once legally blind.
Benjamin's case is probably the most satisfying case I've ever taken care of, because although I've had other kids who've ended up with better vision than Benjamin, none of us started out with worse vision and had this much improvement.
They're dealing with some very tough situations, but the outcome that is achieved is amazing.
The best way to take care of these children is to make an early diagnosis. In our experience, parents are often the very first people to notice something might be wrong with an eye because of the photographs that they have in their family album. It's very important that if a parent does notice that, they take that to the attention of their pediatrician or their eye doctor. Knowing the glow is very important.
We're so lucky to have that facility right here in our backyard, and so amazed to see the real reach that these doctors have globally through the work that they're doing. I hope for Ben to live a very, very long, long life and to be able to look at all of his grandchildren and great-grandchildren and enjoy every second with them, and that this will be something that he will look back on and really have a appreciation for the gift of sight that he has, and an appreciation for the doctors that took care of him.
For more information, visit www.knowabouttheglow.com.